guys, welcome back to my channel. So boy do I have a story to tell you guys today. So as you guys can see by the title, I got ripped off on Craigslist and I just thought that I would make a video about it. Honestly, I'm all fired up, so I just want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into the story. So it all started about 4 weeks ago or so. I decided that I wanted to start looking for a used Exo Terra, and I started looking online on different apps and wholesale sites and Goodwills and Craigslist and things like that. So I've been looking for an 18 by 18 by 24 Exo Terra for quite a few weeks now, almost a month actually, and I have been having no luck finding anything under $100. So I decided to get a used Exo Terra instead of a brand new one because they are so expensive, but they are so nice. So I thought that I would just shop around and see if I could find one for pretty cheap. So fast forward to a few days ago, I was on Craigslist just looking around and I saw a post for an Exo Terra that was large. However, it didn't have the dimensions, but it did have two pictures that were kind of blurry and it looked like an 18 by 18 by 24. But again, it did not specify that in the details. So I decided to text the owner of this Exo Terra to just see what the dimensions were and if it is the one that I was looking for. So I texted the owner of this Exo Terra to inquire about the size. So let's call him Bob. So I texted Bob and I said very clearly, "Hello, what is the size of the Exo Terra? 18 by 18 by 24? Question mark." And Bob replied, "Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct." So I proceeded to text him, asking him more questions about it. He explained that there was some damage to the top of the hood and he sent me a picture of it. I could see that the frame was melted because Bob decided to put a heat lamp on top of the Exo Terra, and unfortunately it did melt the frame. Obviously, you're never supposed to put a heat lamp directly on plastic, but Bob must have been unaware of this. So I asked my sweet, loving husband if he would go and pick it up since he was already on that side of town that day, but I did explain to Bob that I was going to be unable to come and pick it up from him, that he should just give it to my husband and that would be fine. So everything was set up. My husband was going to go get the Exo Terra. Bob confirmed it was an 18 by 18 by 24. It was going to be $50. I thought it was going to be a great deal. All right, everything should be done. No. It's never that simple. So my sweet loving husband gets off work, goes and picks up the Exo Terra for me, and then brings it home. So Patrick's instructions were just to please go pick up the Exo Terra for me. He didn't know what size it was going to be. I told him it was going to be large, but like I've never seen one in person, so I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. But again, Bob assured me that it was the size I was looking for and that everything was going to be okay. So the next morning, I get the Exo Terra, and as I'm getting ready to clean it, I just start staring at it, and I'm like, something doesn't look right. Notice anything wrong? So here we have Bob's tank. Bob gladly took my money. However, as you can see, this is not 24 inches tall. This is an 18 by 18 by 24. Can you tell the difference, Bob? It's pretty substantial. Other fun fact, this is what the top looks like, which honestly, I knew the top was gonna be burnt and that's not a big deal to me. It's only $25 to get a replacement top for the 18 by 18 by 24. This isn't an 18 by 18 by 24. So the Exo Terra that my husband had picked up from Bob was so very clearly not an 18 by 18 by 24. You could just look at it and know that it is half the size of that. Bob, I really don't know what you're doing, but it is a 12 by 12 by 18. I couldn't believe it, and now I have this tank and I can't even use it. Normally this tank would be okay for a small juvenile reptile or amphibian, but the fact that I usually adopt or rehome or rescue, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be getting a juvenile animal, so I definitely wanted the biggest size possible to start with so that I wouldn't have to worry about buying a tank all over again and having to upgrade later. So I texted Bob. Hi Bob, if you're watching. I said, "Hey Bob, so this tank that you gave me is not 18 by 18 by 24 like you said. It's actually 12 by 12 by 18 and I can't use it. Would you please allow me to return it?" After about 4 hours, Bob finally texted me back and said, "Oh, I didn't know it was smaller. I'm out of town for the holiday," because last week was July 4th, "and I'll be back this weekend." This weekend, as in this weekend right now, that's almost over. So I was very kind. I said, "Okay, Bob, that's fine. Please let me know whenever you get back in town." So I was already kind of having a hard time believing that Bob was going out of town for an entire week with family to celebrate July 4th, when July 4th is generally like a 1 to 2 day event. You pop fireworks at night. You know, that's pretty much the gist of it. But it's been 5 days now and I still haven't heard anything from Bob. Bob, where are you? So I got on my phone and I decided, you know, I haven't heard from Bob in about 4 days and I still have this tank and he still has my money. Maybe I should just text him again and see if he can take this tank back. So I I send sweet Bob a nice little text. I'm very kind. I said, hey, have you returned home yet? To no response. A few hours later, I text Bob again. I didn't know if I could bring the tank back to you. Smiley face. Again, very kind. And at 9 o'clock at night, the last attempt of the day, I said, let me know when a good time would be to bring this back. Thanks. Still no reply from Bob. So now I have a janky melted tank and Bob has my money and I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I don't need this tank. I can't use this tank, and honestly, I think Bob moved. It's been like 5 days, so I'm pretty sure that he moved and he probably blocked my number. Needless to say, I am pretty disappointed. Bob, you did me dirty. It's not Patrick's fault. He didn't know what to look for. I didn't specify the inches because I thought Bob had taken care of it. Clearly, Bob didn't take care of it. I did end up getting the tank that I actually needed a few days later, thankfully. But yeah, I guess I have his melted tank and he has my money. Hi Bob, if you're watching, your tank is ready for you. I've taken really good care of it. You should text me back now so you can have it. So moral of the story is, Bob is a butt. Be careful who you meet on Craigslist because you never know when you're gonna get a slimy little Bob who's gonna rip you off and then never text you again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you're in Tennessee and you need a 12 by 12 by 18 tank that's a little bit melted, let me know. I have one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Be kind. Bye.